Hey, what's up everybody? This is 10.2 Resto Druid guide for Mythic Plus. In this video I'll go over the talents, stats, playstyle and a lot more things that can help you improve your gameplay. This is a great season to pick up Resto Druid. It's strong contender to be the best healer right now. We have great kit for M+, and a lot healing and damage. Let's talk about talents. This is the build I recommend you to start with. I link it down below. Usually you don't change anything on the right side. The few changes you can do is taking Convoke instead of the tree. I personally prefer Tree of Life. I'll talk more about it in a specific section. You can also change budding leaves for reforestation and you can get the tree with the Convoke. But I don't recommend you to start with this build because this build is more advanced and you probably don't need it unless you are doing really high keys. There is a few important points in this tree you should know about. Make sure that your group try to stand inside your efflorescence because of verdancy. You will get a lot of value from this talent. Rampant Growth will apply the regrowth aught on your 2 life bloom players, so make sure you plan your healing correctly. Last but not least is Tranquil Mind. The option to get 2 Omen of Clarity with the combination of our 4-piece create a massive regrowth that can top and save players from a dying situation. On the left side is where you have a lot of play. This build is more on the defensive side and I feel a lot safer with these talents, especially on tyrannical keys. Orsign Vigor gives you more HP when you go into bear form, and Method Fair gives you absorb when you barkskin. This may be an overkill depending on your key level, but I usually pug keys and I feel the more tankier I am, the better. You may remove 1 point from Orsign Vigor and play with it if you like. You can take Innervate if you feel you need it, Incaproar, maybe improved Stampedic Roar, or even Typhoon. If you feel you don't need a defensive node, you can go with more offensive build. You removed Improved Barkskin, Verdant Art, Method Fair, and 1 point from Orsign Vigor for Trash, Improved Swipe, and 2 points in Killer Instinct. Depending on your key level, you can completely remove Orsign Vigor and play with the point. In this build, you invest in your cat form DPS, so make sure you really are cat weaving. If you don't change to cat form, I suggest you invest the points somewhere else. It's important to know that on Blackrock Roll and Galakrond's Fall, you don't need to take improved nature cure, so you may have extra points to play with. So, our stats. We still go heavily around Haste with Verse and a bit of Mastery. Crit has some value for DPS purposes, but you probably want to aim around 42% Haste, 12 to 13% Mastery. As you can see, I have a bit less, so I need to change it a bit, and as much Versa as you can get. Let's talk about our playstyle. I'll start with something important to understand. You are not a DPS. Sometimes it's easy to forget about your odds when you are DPSing in cat form and then you struggle to keep up. It's more than welcome to contribute your damage, but try to keep your group alive first. Our damage comes from our dots, so make sure you keep Sunfire and Rake on few targets and Drip on the main target. If you pull big, you can go Moonkin form and spam Starfire. Healing wise, you should maximize your life blooms uptime mostly on the 2 fragile DPSers. With Undergrowth, you can put 2 life blooms, and with people standing inside your efflorescence, you will get a lot of healing from verdancy. You can life bloom yourself when there is a short burst damage to get value from photosynthesis. Generally, you keep it on 2 other players. Don't sit on 3 stacks of Grove Guardians. If you recently started playing Resto Druid, you can easily forget that you have them. Make sure you utilize it as much as you can. With combination of our tier set, Nourish will be our top healing spell. On top of Nourish, the Treants immediately cast Swiftmend on your target, and with Wild Synthesis, it will also cast Wild Growth. If you take Tree of Life, you should also know that every Treants that fade reduce its CD and making it around 2 minutes if using correctly. Resto Druid healing requires you to be proactive with your odds. As I mentioned, you should keep life blooms on 2 targets at all time, and keep F-flow close to 100% uptime. Basically, you should prepare for incoming damage with your odds on the group and cover with Grove Guardians, Wild Growth and Regrowth, especially Regrowth with clear casting. You can spread Rejuve if you need the healing from our mastery, but generally, Rejuve is not worth casting. Try to expect the damage profile and you will have an easier time understand if you need to spread Rejuve. You will also have Flourish to extend your odds and increase the healing over time effect. Flourish is on a 1-minute CD, so you can be more flexible with it. On the defensive side, on high keys and especially on Tyrannical, you should spread your odds on the group before big hits and go into bear form. If you have the Ursine Vigor talent for the 20% increased HP, you can sometimes go in and out of bear form just for the buff. So, the big question is Tree of Life versus Convoke. Which talent to take? Like I said, this is more of a comfortable pick, but I like Tree of Life more. You can argue for both of the talents, but mainly Convoke is for damage and Tree is pure healing. On my key level right now, which is 24-25, I don't think that my damage will make or break the key, but survivability will definitely increase the success rate of the key. I also like Tree cause I can rotate it with Flourish. The downside of Tree is that you usually don't need 30 seconds of it, and this is when Reforceration can come into play. Most of the time you pick Convoke for damage and Tree if you need healing city. Depending on your playstyle, both of them is good options. Make your choice. We have a lot of trinkets that is worth keeping, so try to get all of them. The Laurelus the Suncaller from Tindrel is good for damage, probably one of the better trinkets to get. Sadly, you cannot get it in Resto spec, so make sure you change to balanced loot. This trinket has a ticking damage effect on yourself, so use it correctly and try not to overlap with big incoming hits. Peep's Emerald Friendship Badge is also nice to have. This one you can get from the Council boss inside the raid. Personally, a must trinket to get when you do high keys is the Leaf Trinket from Everbloom. I'm still chasing this one. This trinket will definitely save you some deaths. If you have the chance to get Firak Trinket, do it. The massive absorb from this trinket is a lifesaver, your own lifesaver. Few worthy trinkets to mention are the Voodoo Totem from Ataldazar, Seastar from Throne of the Tides can be a big Versa trinket, and Echoing Tearstones from Murozond Rise. You can swap between any combination, depends on your needs and dungeon. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I recently started streaming on Twitch from time to time, so if you want to ask me there, I'll link it down below. I'll appreciate the follow. Thank you for watching. Peace.